it's what 8 o'clock, and so I'm on now. Y'all can see it on the Zoom. It says we're on live at the top.
Oh yeah.
So we're live, but it's not transmitting yet on the TV, but it'll come. And then when it comes, we just wait like 2-3 minutes, and then we get started. Oh, there it goes. I see it.
I like to let people get on first. And so it's what, 8 o'clock?
Sorry.
So I'm on now. Y'all can see it on the Zoom. It says we're on live at the top. So
there we go. I also have 188 subscribers, which is kind of cool.
Yes, sis, you better get your subscribers.
I'm gonna do a little video for y'all and let y'all know, like, to support people instead of posting them Instagrams. Come on, follow my Instagram. Come follow my YouTube, sis. It's not about women supporting women. It's friends supporting friends.
Right.
But I mean, I'm always here for women empowerment, but.
And if you follow my YouTube, women empowered. Yeah, that's it.
If you follow my Instagram, you get me to 1,000. You can make this Black woman make a little bit more extra money, and so why not do that?
Well, let me make sure I follow you.
Follow these steps. Do a little subscribe. You can do notifications, and you can do the bell, which will notify you every time I post. Because what I've been learning, because I've been looking at the data, is the people who are actually subscribed to me don't watch my full video. And watching the full video is what YouTube uses for like how you start getting paid. So you get paid off subscribers and watch time. But what I realized is a lot of my subscribers are only watching, like say if I post a video 10 minutes, they only watch 4 minutes of it. But my non-subscribers, they'll watch pretty much full out. So I'm like,
subscribers, watch the whole thing. God. Shit. You putting out all this content, they watching 4 minutes. Right. That's sad.
I mean, that's the reality of it. But
I think you're entertaining, sis. That's all that matters.
You are.
Thanks, sisters. Do y'all see these baby hairs I laid for y'all?
Yes. Okay. Edges and leg. Queen. What's your shirt say?
That's deep.
I'm surrounded by queens, baby. The girl, this is Beyonce.
Love to hear it.
Surrounded by queens tonight. That's loud.
Fucking Lulu.
Queen in it.
Let's see this 8:02. Oh my gosh, guys, are we ready for this? I feel like I talk to y'all almost every day anyway, so this is a little different because we're doing it in a little different medium.
Right. Yeah. I'm ready. Bria, you ready?
Y'all ready? Wait, hold on. Let me pull it up on my phone just to make sure we're good. Because we can't. So for people who are on now, we can't see comments or anything, and I think that's the beauty and the not beauty of it all.
Right.
Hold on. Are we good? I think we're good. I think we're just.
Oh, Bria looks like she about to go check.
I never know, but if anything, people will go back and watch it, right? I'm always so nervous, right? I'm like always like.
I wasn't the only one. I was nervous.
Look, you're just talking to us.
Yeah, so you say, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, is it 8? We'll wait one more minute.
Oh yeah, I see it on. I see it right here.
Okay, go back and watch it, right?
Yeah. Sierra says it's good.
Thanks, Cece. It's Sierra.
Hey, shout out to all my friends. Everybody saying they here. We appreciate y'all.
We do.
Love is always real.
We do appreciate y'all coming on. Yeah, okay. Oh, so there you go. You have to have a channel. Yes. So that's the thing about YouTube. You have to have a channel. So, okay. So it's going to sound like I'm talking to y'all, but I'm not talking to y'all. Hey, everybody who's on. Welcome to the series, Authentic Black Mamas. This is our 5th. I always forget. Fifth episode.
You tell us.
6. I get so it's been so many great things. So it's 6. You guys are the 6th authentic Black Mama series, and you guys are a little different, but I'm so excited about this because I'm excited about the challenge. I'm excited to talk to you all, see what this is about. But I wanted to start off saying, hey, everybody, hey, girls, hey, girls. But I wanted to say first, like, this Authentic Black Mama series was a space that was created to celebrate Black mamas and the joys, the pains, the love, and overall, really what it means to be authentic on their journey of not only motherhood, but womanhood. And so in this case, we have a little different. So I remember people texting me like, is Quay a mama now?
Listen, I'm hiding my baby from the world. My baby's it's cooking. You know, gotta wait to cook.
A great quote. But these are, and so I'm gonna go. So if you all go to the Instagram, you guys go on Instagram. I know y'all are on YouTube now, and it's like, but go to Instagram, go to the Choose True Project, and literally go. They should be the first flyer on there, the first flyer. And I call it like the mommy bio, which is theirs is a little different. Theirs is the sister bio. And go on there and I guess maybe comment on there since you can't comment on the actual YouTube because you don't have a channel. But comment on there, let them know, you know, something you felt that was real, like, I felt that, or just any words of encouragement, because I think that's what's needed more than anything. But they are the first one, and I'm gonna read theirs, right? So the Authentic Black Mama, I always forget the hashtag, finding joy in womanhood and love and peace in motherhood. And so these authentic sisters are redefining our strength and unapologetically, did I spell that right? Yeah, living in God's purpose after the loss of our authentic Black mama and grandmother just 2 months apart in 2018. And so the sudden death of our I can't even say the word all the way, matriarchal. Ooh, that's that Charleston coming out sometimes. I can't say words.
Good job. Great job.
Thank you. I had to sound it out real well.
Use your words.
Use your words, sisters. Use your words. The unit pushed us in becoming valiant and blooming women. And so I wanted to start with that because this is a little different, right? Like before we were having moms come on here and talk about, you know, what that journey looked like. But now we have two daughters coming on here to talk about their very, very, very authentic Black mama. And I'm excited to have them on here and share in this space. Just a quick little background. Shaquasia was a part of a True Conversation in 2018. That was the first event that the True Project had. Bria was there, but she talked about a lot of other things. I mean, she talked about more than one thing, but one of them was the loss and what that loss looked like. And so excited to have her on, and then just have Bria on because I feel like you guys are two sisters, but you guys had very different stories, right? And so people think, oh no, you guys are sisters. You guys, that loss feels the same, right? Like there's nothing different, and it's actually very, very, very different.
Right.
So I'm excited to have you guys on here just to talk. And so I think we talked enough. I'm gonna stop talking, but I wanted you all to tell just beginning what that story looked like, right? Like from beginning to end, maybe going into what those 2 months look like, because I don't think you can ever prepare for that. And so if you both can say your side and say, you know, what it meant just leading up to those deaths, and even after your grandmother passed away. I know this is an authentic Black mama, but grandma was still very, very much a part of that. And so we just want to talk about that together and what that looked like for y'all. And so whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead.
This is how it went.
Let us see the shirts first.
Oh, sure.
Oh, sisters. My mom was everything and then amen.
So this is how it started. In January 13th, 2017, we had to take my mom to an appointment to get a colonoscopy. She took the Cologuard test and it came back showing that she needed to actually go and get the colonoscopy to see what was going on in her colon.
Yeah.
Had that test. Bria wasn't supposed to go. We were living in Columbia at the time. She didn't want to go, or she couldn't go because she had to go to work.
Yeah.
And so she finally got off, and I'm so glad she came because we were then told while she was in the back, coming back from anesthesia,
Yeah, she was waking up.
she was waking up that she did have colon cancer. They found a tumor in her colon. And so we were looking in the waiting room like, oh shit, like damn. So she wakes up, we go and get her at the door, and she's oblivious to everything.
They didn't tell her anything.
And the way that they told us was kind of like, we get it, doctors, they can't be so like, oh, we're sorry, they can't be that way. Yeah. They can't be emotional to you in any way. And so the way he told us, it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he just told us like that. But that's the way he had to deliver the message. So when she got in the car, she was like, so what's wrong? And we were like, they didn't say anything.
You all had to break the news and not the doctor, which would have been very different because it would have been the doctor. Okay.
Right.
We would have wished that we could have stayed in, like, we should have been there as a family and they told us all three of us together, but they didn't. And so just having to tell your mother, who just got up from them being in her colon, that she has cancer, that was probably one of the hardest things that I had to do.
Yeah.
And I said it because I'm the oldest, so I'm like, shit.
This is
it. And then my mom was like, well, how do you get
confused.
that?
Yeah.
And we were like, as a family, we didn't know. And she was like, nobody in my family has it. And we were like, we didn't know.
Right.
So then they tell us that she has to start radiation first.
Right, to shrink the tumor.
Then once the tumor shrank a little bit, or shrunk, I don't know, shrunk's a word, right? Yeah, shrunk. Once the tumor shrunk, she had surgery. And that was in May. Well, that surgery didn't go the way it should have went. And my mom was in the hospital for 40 plus days.
Right.
Oh, from infection?
Huh?
From infection, or just like it didn't
heal properly. Like it just took her so much longer to heal. I think it was supposed to be like a week, maybe not even. And she just wasn't healing properly. So we were in there for, I believe, 43 days.
Yeah. So we were living in Colombia at the time. The two of us were coming back all the time. Mm-hmm. And so once she got home, she started going through chemo. Chemo was like it
wipes you out.
It wipes you out completely. And when it's wiped out of your body, the pain, I don't wish that pain on anyone. Just hearing my mom in that pain, and she would screech out loud, and you be like, dang, I wish it was something that we could do to give her. So we tried everything.
Right.
Every single thing that we could try to try to subside her pain. And then what happened after that? She went through chemo. She was getting better. My grandmother, well, myself personally, my side of the story is in January, I separated from my husband. That's a damn, right?
January 2019.
January 2018.
18. So 2017 is when you found out that she had the colon cancer, and then that whole year just going through that.
We're going through chemo.
And then January 2018
is when I separated from my husband. So that was my damn, personally. February, I remember the weekend it was Super Bowl weekend. I had the flu, and Bria was with me. We were in finish line, and I felt the flu. I felt like it come over me in finish lines. We were shopping. And she was like, shit, let me get the hell up out of here because I got to take care of them. Because so Bria sacrificed her life, and she moved back home to Myrtle Beach to take care of my mom, my grandmother during this time period.
Right. So that was May 2017 I moved when she had the surgery.
You moved May 2017.
Sorry, I'm all over the place. So May 2017, Bria moved back home. She was like, shit, I need to go ahead and take care of them. Mm-hmm. So she came to visit me that weekend in February 2018, had the flu. And this is why I always tell people, if somebody's on your mind, do it, right? Yeah. So my grandmother, she was on my mind that Sunday, and I said, I'm going to call her. But I was so weak, I could not call her. Like, calling anybody was on the last thing on my mind. Mm-hmm. Well, that Monday morning, she had her stroke. Mm. And so...
and it was her fourth stroke. So so this is the fourth one.
This wasn't like a first,
Right.
Yeah, it was her fourth one.
And this was the one.
Yeah, this was that one.
This was the one.
This was the one, yeah. That, I mean, and to be honest, like y'all know, like there's some people who have strokes and that first one takes them out, right?
Right.
So grandma was fighting because I've seen people who have just, that's it after the first one, or just have died of strokes.
Right.
Like, damn. It makes me wonder, like, damn, what the hell a stroke feel like? Because a heart attack, people dying from strokes, not heart attacks. So what the hell is a stroke? I don't want to know what a stroke feels like.
Yeah. We ain't gonna,
Right.
we don't want to know that. We don't want to know that shit feel like. No, we don't. So
it makes me wonder, right? It makes me wonder.
I think the same stuff.
Right.
And like, because I diagnosed myself.
And how a heart attack is very different than a stroke.
Right.
Those strokes sometimes take people out, especially Black people, out more than a heart attack. So
Right.
So
Grams has her stroke. Bria, I think she went to work that Monday. My mom calls us. I come from Columbia. Bria's gone to the hospital. They tell us what she was talking. Grams was talking. And then all of a sudden, it
took a turn. Yeah,
she just took a turn for where she wasn't saying anything at all. And then they took her to the nursing home to go through their form of therapy.
Yeah.
Then we had to put her on a feeding tube, which was different for our family. Just like feeding somebody through a tube, that's just wow. And so all of us had to learn how to do that. Yep. Then once that happened, she came home and everybody was helping her out. Everybody, like all my family came together and they were all being real helpful.
Because we felt that the nursing home just wasn't doing the job. It was like, we can definitely do it here. We were visiting her every day and you can tell the nurses knew like our schedule because they'll jump up in the room and do what they were supposed to do. So we're like, yeah, we're here. Like, what's up? Like, did you turn her over? Because bed sores are real. And you know, like we had to do the monitor. And I was like, yeah, just bring baby home. We can do this at the house with 24 care and it's actually going to get done. Yeah. So
we brought her home. And then you could tell she was just like, I don't want all these people helping me out like that. It was all over her face every single time. My mom went to her chemo appointment and my grandmother knew my cousin Kamira was there and another cousin was there. And that's when she passed away on March 13th. Like when people pass away, they know who to pass away with.
Right.
And so I know she knew not to pass away with my mom in the room. My mom had just left to go to chemo.
Right.
Wait, your grandmother passed away when your mom went to chemo?
Yep.
Yes.
And that was on March 13th.
3 days before her birthday.
Yeah, 3 days before my birthday. So yeah. But you know, my friends, family, they all came together. They made sure I celebrated because it's even though death happened, you still have to find a way to celebrate life.
Absolutely.
I learned that the hard way on this past February.
Yeah. And I always tell you that we still have to, like, we're never going to forget our loved ones, but we still got to celebrate. And so they did a good job doing that. Everybody came together. We did that. Everyone's been supportive during that time. Grams passed away, had a funeral, boom. Easter came, I came home for Easter weekend with my mom and Bria. My mom was doing great. We was having a great time. The week after that, I think she went to her doctor's appointment.
Right, because she was still in a lot of pain. So, you know, we went to just check in and see what's going on. If they could, like, you know, maybe change something in the chemo, you know, to alleviate some of her pain. She was hard on, like, I'm not taking all these pain pills. Y'all are not going to make me an addict. I don't know why she was like,
she did not want to get
addicted to pain pills. But I'm like, girl, you need something because I know you're in pain. Yeah. But she was just like, no, let's see if they can do something else. And then that's the time when they told us, you know, pretty much there was nothing else that they could do. It continued to spread. So it was like pretty much that was her turning point.
They said hospice.
Oh, yeah. So, and then, you know, when we hear hospice, like, oh, it's over, that's the end.
I was gonna say, when Black people hear hospice.
Yeah, hell no. That's what they hear.
It's over, hospice, Lord. You know.
I'm writing that down when Black people hear hospice.
No, real shit. When they hear hospice, man, I tell everyone, my grandmother who's still living has been to hospice several times.
Yeah.
and kick the hospice nurse out.
Yeah, kick the hospice nurse out. She's well.
She's still trucking along.
So yeah, when they hear hospice, that's just like the end of the road for them. And that's when Bria called me after that appointment, and she said they told my mom that she said all my mom could say is, I knew it was happening fast, but I didn't know it was happening fast like this.
Right.
Like she just did not get it.
Yeah.
In her mind, it was like, damn, this is it. And and that's when she just started going like,
yeah.
So we did our best to try to. That's when we started doing everything that we could start doing. As far as, or that's when we tried to do a little bit more because we've already been doing what we could do, but we were trying to do more.
Then, so what did that look like for you? Because you were going through a divorce. You said that happened to you. So when did you move home, or when did, or I know you were coming home often, but when did you like, oh, I'm home?
So in May, Cinco de Mayo weekend of 2018, we took her to Atlanta to see my line sister, Deandra, who's an internal medicine doctor. And my mom, her eating habits just started being like, but they were always a little shifty. So Bria had to find ways to get her nutrients. And that's when juicing and protein shakes started becoming a big major thing in our lifestyles, because we had to find different ways to feed her. Because one thing about somebody who's gone through chemo, they just want to drink, and they want to drink it at room temperature.
Right.
Well, my mom, I don't know about everybody, but I know like if it's too cold, they can feel it.
Yeah, she was sensitive to
sensitive to everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Anything.
She probably could feel it in her bones.
She could.
Yeah.
She felt everything.
She felt every single thing. So I started noticing that she wasn't eating the way, like she would lie about eating and hide the food.
Yeah, we were finding like the food.
I finding food in the bed, in the hotel bed. I was like, hold up, wait a damn minute. You did not eat that sandwich.
Yes, I did. No, you didn't.
So she told us that we were supposed to stay the whole weekend, and she told us that Saturday, she's like, I want to go home. So we left Atlanta. They came to Columbia to my house for a couple of days. And that Monday, she was like, okay, she told Bria, like, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. So Bria took her back to Myrtle Beach. That was that Monday. That Friday, which was May 9th, I think, May 9th or May 10th. It was Mother's Day weekend. That's when Bria called me and was like, I have to take her to, Kamara, my cousin Kamara took her to the emergency room because she just wasn't feeling good at all. Right. And so they admitted her in the hospital. And then on that Sunday was Mother's Day. She was fine. She was talking. That week Mother's Day she talked up until that Thursday. She stopped talking completely. So that's when I went home. I went home on that Friday, and I just packed a whole bunch of clothes, and I was like, shit, I don't know when I'm going to come back to Columbia. And I told my job, and they were real supportive. I was like, my mom is taking a turn for the worst right now. I need to figure out what's going on with her. And they were like, go ahead. So I packed up my bag, met Bria at the hospital. We put her in the hospital that Friday. We stayed with her around the clock. It's either the two of us or one will go handle business and the other one will stay. But we made sure somebody was always there. We never left. So that Thursday of that week, she stopped talking. Well, honestly, that Sunday she started talking out her head.
Yeah, she was talking. It
wasn't what was going on currently. She's like, girl, yeah, I'm talking to my mom, or you know, she told me that she married my dad and they never got married. And I was like, oh, you bugging. You know, since you bugging right now, I was like, oh, shit, what's going on? So
maybe sis wanted that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So then that Thursday she stopped talking. They told us there was nothing they can do anymore. They brought her home. And so this is where I say our situation was a little different. Okay. The hospice nurse, we prepared a house for her to come home through hospice. So that took a lot of work because you got to prepare your house for a hospital bed, this and that and the third. So we ran home to do that. She came home, and the hospice nurse took all her vitals, said to me and Bria, looked at us and said, I don't know when she's going to pass, but she's going to pass in the next 24 hours.
They told y'all that?
Yeah.
She told us that.
She just how she was breathing, she just knew. She was like, you know, I've seen this time and time again, and I just wanted to let y'all know it might be time for y'all to call, you know, just the family to say y'all final goodbyes.
Yeah, so she said she could tell that we were good girls, and, you know, she wanted, like, her whole, and we weren't mad at her. We were just looking at each other like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, she, you know, you can never prepare for your somebody you've known your whole entire life who raised you to die. And so we were like blown away, but we were like, oh shit, I know my mom's touched us, but I also know that she's touched so many other people. We still have my grandmother's only living sister who I need to let know because her and my mom are close as hell. So I had to call her. I had to call my mom's best friend. I called Sierra and her family. I called everybody who I knew she was close with, all of our family and friends that were here, to come and say their final goodbyes.
Yeah.
And that's what was a little different for us compared to some people find out and they're like, they don't know their parents had dropped dead at you know, you just never know, but just to know that we knew it was happening, that kind of prepared us a little bit of what was going to happen for the next coming days or so.
And honestly, you know, just going through this with our grandmother 2 months prior, it was kind of like we were already...
We call ourselves funeral directors.
Right. You know, we went to the funeral home and was like, yo, can we get a 2 for 1? I mean, like, what's up? But you know, we just did this, so it was just like, damn, girl, we got to do this again. You know, but we did.
Yeah, she passed away at home, and my grandmother passed away at home, and I'm thankful that they were able to pass away in the comfort of their own homes. So she knew to pass away with Bria. Like, we were around the clock with her. So it was my mom.
I was more so hands-on because Quay's not good with stuff like that. So, you know,
I was gonna say, what was different from you all? Like, Bria, how was your story different than Quay? Quay was going through a divorce. I mean, you were in college, finishing college. I mean, like, what was that like for you? Because that's a very different story too, right?
Right, absolutely. So, I mean, when my story,
home, and not to take anything away from Quay, right? That she didn't move home, she had her own life, but you were that sister who moved home to be there for both your grandmother and your mother. And not that Quay wasn't there, but like, what did that look like for you? Or what was like, I gotta do this because you probably knew Quay was going through whatever she was going through, right? So you just was like, I just gotta do this for myself. I gotta do it.
Right. And you know, at the time, she wasn't going through the separation. I believe you were
when it first happened.
Yeah, when it first happened, and
only 6-7 months of marriage.
Right. So I mean,
well,
but you know, I knew that I didn't have that family, and I knew she was creating a family there, and you know, they had their family and the dog, and you know, it was just me. So I was just like, you know, I gotta go and I gotta do this. I gotta take care of my girls. So you know, it was nothing for me to think twice about it, to be honest. You know, I was there. I was like, okay, her surgery scheduled May. I need to make sure I'm there because she, you know, your mom. Take your time. Don't rush. Don't make any major moves. They don't want you to do anything based off of them. And I'm like, no. I said, okay, here's the plan. I'm gonna be home for your surgery, and I gotta be home, you know, throughout the entire time because, you know, doing that, you have my grandmother who's a double amputee from, you know, diabetes. So she needs full-time care. And then my mom was going to have surgery. So I was more so hands-on at every doctor's appointment, trying to figure out, you know, what to do and in order to take care of the wound care, any type of medication, trying to keep up with that. You know, it was a lot, but if I had to do it all over again, I would, you know, no doubt about it. Like I said, I didn't think twice about it. I knew it had to be done. But Quay was a great weekend relief. She came every weekend. I was like, get my weekend back. She came every weekend to give me some relief. But, you know, I was also
relief.
Oh yeah, I was the weekend.
Yeah,
she like 9 to 5. I'm the weekend.
You know, but it also helped that we had family to help us as well, because I was also still trying to balance a full-time job and then being a full-time caregiver. So, you know, our family definitely stepped in and helped us any way they could. So, you know, that was, you know, the biggest part about it.
And I commend a 26-year-old dropping everything and sacrificing her life to take care of, like, she really didn't think twice about it. She told me one day she came downstairs because she was living with us in Columbia. She came downstairs and she was like, I'm moving back. Right. And I was like, shit, I support it. Whatever I got to do, you know, to help you financially or mentally and physically, I'm there. And so she taught me, Bria, she's that girl who loves that type of shit. So she taught me everything that I need to do.
I'm all up in it.
Yeah, she is all up in it.
Hey, what's that? What's this? What's that?
Like, she want to look at everything. So she taught me a lot. And so I wanted to be here to help her, to give her that time to herself, because I know what I was doing when I was 26. And, you know, it wasn't taking care of people. So that's why I had to do my part. And us seeing our mom take care of her mother for so many years and not even questioning taking care of her mom, that's what we were raised to do.
Right.
And so, yeah, we just stepped up and did what we had to do. And I commend Bria for that, for real, because she didn't have to do that. No problem, babe.
Oh.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work. So we're going to pivot a little. I love y'all like setting the stage, right? Because you literally set the stage to realize like that was a lot of damn, like, I mean, like that was a lot in a span of what, like a year and a half. I mean, whatever, however that time was for y'all, I'm sure it was different because you think about like even after dealing with it after. Yeah. But I wanted to talk about just like how authentic your mom was and like how, you know, she was a very authentic woman. So
my mom was so real. Real was real. Okay. It was scary. It was uncomfortable real. Like, yeah.
Real. No, it was an uncomfortable real. And so I think just to talk about, I guess, like a favorite memory of your mom being very, very honest and very real, and then talk about how your mom's authentic self has made you into the woman you are, into being an authentic self. And so my memory is
please tell me.
At homecoming. At homecoming, I was a hot mess. I'm always a hot mess at homecoming. That's just my release. I really enjoy homecoming. I release getting very, very belligerently drunk and having a good time. And I just remember somebody had said something about Shell being drunk, because, you know, people feel like they just have to say that, right? Like, oh, like this girl is drunk. And your mom was like, she good, she having a good time.
Right.
I was like, I am. And she had my back, right? She like literally had my back and was like, what do y'all want people to do at homecoming? Y'all want them to like not do nothing and just stand there and just do nothing? Or like y'all want somebody who is just gonna have a good time and who's having the fun of her life? But she did tell me, I'll never forget, she saw my shoes and she said,
oh yeah,
those shits are effed up.
Yeah, she's like, that girl danced so damn much, she done messed up her damn shoe. I was like, she did.
I'll never forget that. So literally to this day, that was one of the things that I'm like, I don't care, you know, I'll be the belligerent drunk, but baby girl, I'm gonna have me a good time.
Good time.
Right.
That's all that matters.
That's hilarious, yeah.
She appreciated a good time.
Yeah. She was the party.
That's helped me on my journey of, you know, being authentic and being in my space. And that doesn't take away from me being drunk at homecoming. Like, it's just a part of what it is. And so I appreciated her for that moment. And her coming to tell me, like, you good? Like, go ahead, have a good time. She literally, it was like my mom, like, go ahead, have a good time, gone.
Right. Because she was always for a good time, you know, so everyone knew, like, she didn't deal with the judgmental, because she was always ready, like, you know, life is short. And that's our thing, where we get it from. Life is too short. And, you know, we talk about, my mom lived her life, you know, granted it wasn't long enough, but she lived her life and she always had a good time. And everyone knew it.
And she taught us to travel often.
Choose your friends wisely.
Choose your friends wisely. Mind your business.
Mind you.
What was the last one? Choose your friends.
Mind your business. And I'm gonna call Sierra out, but my cousin Sierra just texted and she said, my mom has been standing up to the oppressor her entire life. So I had to say that. Shout out to Sierra for that one. But yeah, she'll definitely put you in your place, no matter what color you are.
No matter.
And
who you are.
One thing that I learned from her, and it bothers me to this day, this is my thing, and I know Bria, it might be Bria's too, but you cannot come into my mother's home. I don't give a shit if she was outside the back door or she was in her bedroom. if you came into her house, you had to let it be known that you were in her house and you needed to say that you were in her house. If you did not, then she gonna be like, damn, you can't speak. She hated that. So every time that I go into someone's home, I'm always mindful. I don't care if I never met this person a day in my life. I'm always saying, hey, how are you? I hate it. And it bothers me now when I'm sitting somewhere or I'm somewhere and somebody randomly comes in and they just, and you like,
Yeah.
you just came into this house.
You better speak.
You need to speak. You need to like let us know that your presence is known. Like you can't just come in somebody's house and just look at them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, everybody, how you doing? That's it. It doesn't take much to say, hey.
Right.
So that's one of my things that really that I definitely take with me everywhere I go. She didn't even care if you were a cashier, and I do this too. I find myself doing the stuff that my mom did that bothered me when we would go to Food Line, and she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Because I mean, as the person who's working for the company, you do want to greet your customers, right?
Yeah.
They would look at you and be like, bringing up shit. You like what? I'm about to give you my money. Make me feel good about giving you my money now. So I take that with me too. I'm just someone who wants to speak to everyone. You just never know whose day you're gonna make. Leave a lasting impression.
Right.
Don't come in and just be.
Right.
But yeah, she taught us so much. I don't even remember what your question was, but I think it was about her authentic self. She was just so super real.
Too real.
Yeah, she was. That was the question, like about how authentic she was, how it's helped you all to be authentic, and she's taught you so much. And we can get that to the end. And you also said it like
about being authentic. I don't mean to cut you off. Is just being honest. Because she told you the truth whether you asked for it or not. And that's annoying too, because everyone doesn't want to hear your truth.
Right.
But you still want to be honest about.
She didn't sugarcoat
anything. No, at all.
And you're like, damn, mom, like you ain't even have to say that, but you know,
I know my pants tight, but I don't need you to tell me my pants tight. You know, those type of things.
But you need that person in your life, right? Because there's a lot of people who like go and just run amok or look a fool.
Yeah. And we couldn't do that. Yeah. We couldn't do that.
Okay. Ooh. So yeah, you guys, so we went through it. You also said your mom, like before we go into like one of your mom's favorite Black mama quotes was, damn, you can't speak. And I mean, that's a very different, but like the things you remember from her. But I wanted to jump in because I feel like we could keep talking, but Bria, I wanted to ask you specifically. So this question, I'm like, maybe this is like more geared towards you all when I was thinking about this, but like, you know, if you could tell your mom, you know, like write a letter to your mom right now, like, dear Edna girl, like, you know, to tell her what the hell is going on right now in 2020, you know, what would you say to her? What would that look like for you?
In 2020.
Yeah.
Damn girl, you heard about this corona? It was crazy. We were just laughing the other day because I'm like, nobody would have been able to come to the house. You wouldn't have been able to do anything. Like you would have had to been like 6 feet spraying you down. Like we always laugh about this, and our cousin too, because she was always over here. But you know, things have changed so much, and you know, I just say, you know, damn, 2020 is just, it's so different without you. We need more people like you. Yeah. You know, there's not enough people like you. People want to sugarcoat it and people want to smile in your face. And, you know, what we need is real and what we need is honesty. And that's who she was. Mm-hmm. You know, we still have people who come up to us and they were like, you know, me and your mom had a conversation and she just told me, you know, what it was. And that's what I needed to hear. She allowed me to vent to her. And, you know, there's not too many people, my friends' parents, I can go to and be like, hey, this is what's going on. And I'm gonna get an honest opinion. They're going to tell me what they think I should hear, you know. And she didn't do that. And she, you know, and like, damn, 2020 is just, a month. Yeah.
2020
sucks. It sucks. You know, and you know, these years has been sucking, honestly, ever since she's been gone. Yeah. But you know, I want to say, you know, thank you for, you know, we can never be prepared, but thank you for showing us that, you know, we got this, and you know, you did enough and you taught us enough to make sure we are able to handle business without you actually being here.
Yeah.
So, thank you. But I'm sorry and thank you.
I think that's
because I think about it. A lot of people will fold. A lot of people fold when their parents die. And that's natural, right? It's natural to fold.
Yeah, right. For sure.
That's a hard thing, and I'm sure you guys have your moments, right? And so then, sorry, it's making my head move around, but like the reality of someone who loses a parent versus what you feel, right? And so automatically, I feel empathy. I feel like, I'm so sad that happened to them. But you guys have taught me that I'm not sad. That shit has actually made you all like super strong women, right? And so, like you have to change that narrative. But I'm sure when people hear the story, they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like the movie Life when we tell people they're like, my daddy died. I hate doing it, but I have to. It's my story. I feel like that's what it is when I go through it. Like, and then I went through, and then this, and they're like, well, damn. So,
yeah.
But yeah. But the reality of that, right? And so, like, the people who want to feel sympathy for you all, like, what do you say for them, or what do you say for the person who is actually going through a death or preparing to, like in your space, like there's probably a lot of people who maybe may never say it, but had that stage where they have to prepare for someone to pass away, and
right?
How you get through that? Whew.
I'll let you go first, Bria.
I think we're still getting through it. It's just, honestly, you can never, it's still surreal. We still wake up and like, damn, they're gone. Like, they were two peas in a pod, and, we always thinking like, damn, my mother and her mother's bond were so close, where we saw that, she kind of gave up after her mom died. And we're still, that just watching how that all unfolded, and then watching, now that we're here, I don't know, because everyone's different. Yeah. You got to take your time, and it ain't, it's rough.
Ain't no crystal
ball. Like,
yeah.
But it's not, and we're still going through it. Every day is different, and it took us a while just to be like, okay, but we're still not okay, so.
And it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. It's okay to not be okay. And there's no time limit on when you
No. And that's the thing, that people who are just going through it, never let someone else who's never lost a parent to rush your grieving process. Like, right. You can't tell me how to grieve when you still got both of your parents. And that's one thing people, and I don't want to say just the Black community, but we got to stop being like, it's going to be okay. It will eventually, I get it, but come on.
Let me take
my time.
So I have a question, and you guys maybe can tell me. So when someone passes away that is close to a friend of yours, what is like those comforting messages to say? And so those messages is going to be okay. What are those messages? Like they're praying for your family, or you can get through this, or you're strong. Like, what do you want to hear in that moment that is helpful? Because we all have or have had a friend who has pass away, and sometimes you're like, damn, what am I supposed to say? Like, that doesn't be offensive, right? That's hard too.
Real. Yeah, it is real. So the one thing I don't want you to tell me is to honestly, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want to hear stay strong. Because it's okay for me not to be, and that's what I had to learn through therapy. It's okay to not be strong all the time. I've always had that mentality where I felt like I had to be strong. And my therapist had to let me know, like, listen, rely on the backing of the people who support you. Rely on your family, rely on your friends. Lay your burdens down pretty much. Like, why are you holding all this stuff in? And when you hold that stuff in, I remember holding the things in about my divorce or me going through a divorce, and I was ashamed. And then when I started telling people or like releasing it, it was like the weight of the world came out of my chest, because my chest always felt tight.
Yeah.
And then after I started telling people, I was like, damn, I feel better. I feel better about this. So stop telling people to stay strong or be strong or just let them be. Just let them be. But the thing that I love saying to people, because I know what it is, many prayers and love to you. Because I mean, that's it.
They need.
That's what they need. They need prayers and love.
Right.
And
and know that they need you afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not the during they're getting through it, but after it's all said and done, that's when they need you the most.
I was gonna say that, girl. You did that.
Sorry.
You did that.
You know, you really got to just check in on people to make sure they're mentally still okay, because, you know, they're still going to have their bad days. I mean, there's going to be many bad days to come. You know, we find ourselves randomly, you know,
I can see I'm like, you was just crying. Well, let me know what you was crying about. I always say that. Well, let me know what you was crying about. I want to cry too.
Yes. I mean, yeah, checking in on them after everything is said and done, because, you know, everybody show up when, you know, it's the repass and they want to
look at you. They want to look at you. They want to see how you're doing.
Right.
They don't care about how you're doing. They want to see how you're doing.
Oh, and please don't tell anyone you look good despite the circumstance.
Oh, I hate that. Well, we had that for months. We've had that for months. Moving back on the Myrtle Beach and them telling us that shit pisses me off. How I'm supposed to look?
Like,
You're supposed to look dusty.
I guess so.
oh my God, we've heard it all. We've heard it all, and it's actually sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
Yeah, don't tell anybody that.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, because that was the worst. I think that was the worst one. Yeah, because we were like, what the?
Yeah, well,
just don't say nothing. Like,
a lot of people just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
They say just whatever,
anything,
you know.
Just like,
terrible.
People don't know what to say, right? Like, I really
Don't say anything.
I struggle texting Quay for your grandma. Then I really struggle for grandma, because I'm like,
yeah.
what the hell do I say, right? But I do agree. There's certain things that there's like mannerism, right? Like Black mannerism that we should not say when people are losing people in their lives. And so you guys said it. It's going to be okay. Stop saying that. Stop saying stay strong, be strong. Stop saying that. And stop saying you look good despite the circumstance.
But tell people you'll be there for them, because we'll ultimately need you in them times. Like, if you're going to genuinely be there, then be there.
Yeah. So my question is to you all, what does support look like for you all now, right? Because you've always had the support of your grandmother and mother, right? That's been your driving force of keeping you all doing what you do, you know, graduating college. You want to see your mom happy. You want to see your grandmother happy. You know, the things they want to do. So now that, you know, you still have that, right? Because you still feel it. But what does support look like to you all from friends? I know this is not a question, but this is a little different. Sorry, you guys. We all prepped, but you know, what does support look like, or how do you support someone in a space where you still trying to figure it out yourself, but you want to be helpful, but you don't want to be abrasive? Because there are people who are like that, right? Like something bad happens and they're like, I don't need the, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna do this. They need more than that. And so I guess just, what does support look like to you all from family, from friends? What has been most helpful?
Well, my cousin Jackie has stepped up tremendously. She's
Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, she's on.
We sent her the link.
I think she's on. But my cousin stepped up tremendously, her and my other cousin Tiffany. But Jackie has, like, we can't go anywhere without Jackie now. We can't do, she's like my mom for real. So she stepped up. My mom's best friend, who's my best friend's mom, my Aunt Tracy, has stepped up. They make sure they check in with us. Not even if it's once a day, it's constantly throughout the week, just to see how we're doing. My Aunt Eula always checks in with us. We check in with her, and those are like the top. And we have a couple of other family members who help or check in with us. My mom's cousins, like her first cousins. Yeah. They all call us all the times, and especially her sister in Charleston. So we have a lot of family members who check in with us all the time.
Right.
Our friends check in with us all the time. If I don't hear from my friends within a week, then I get a random text, or I make sure to reach out, because it's not always about them reaching out to you. You got to make sure you reach out as well.
Right.
And after losing a friend, Jason, I now am conscious of making sure I check in with people because you just never know when it's going to be somebody's last day. I always said, like, him and my grandmother were two people I was supposed to reach out to those days, and the next day they died. So it's like, I'm always like, I have to, when somebody's on my mind, I got to hurry up and send that text. I don't care if I don't respond to the next day, but I know I sent that text like, hey girl, how you doing? Hey guy, how you doing? You got to make sure you check in with people. It's just not always about receiving. You got to
Also
give it out as well. So support.
I love that. Ooh.
You got to make sure you support those who support you. And I tell you, like, everybody is, the love has been real.
Yeah.
The love has been real, like real shit.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm just writing down everything. So it looked like it's 8:50. Jesus, I feel like that.
Oh wow, that was fast.
That was so fast, right? For the folks who are on, if you all can, like I said, go to Instagram, go to the Choose True Project Instagram and write. Oh,
Ain't me. It ain't her either. It's you.
I'm a me.
Low text. If you all can write, your favorite sayings, your takeaways. I mean, what do you think about these authentic sisters? But I wanted to end it on you all talking about, am I saying it right? Valiant? Am I saying it right? Valiant?
That's Bree's word. What is she saying it right, Bree? Yeah, Valiant.
No, we're gonna go with whatever I say right at this point.
Valiant.
So I asked you all, what did that death do for you all, right? And so Bria said Valiant, and then Quay said blooming. And so I wanted you all to talk about, because that's what we talked about in the whole series about what motherhood taught you about womanhood, or how womanhood and motherhood were the same thing, and you learned how to be a mom and a mom and a woman together. But for you all, having your authentic Black mama, what did that, or losing her, what did that teach you all about being the woman that you are today and the woman you want to be, years from now? Because we still have so much. I thought about this today. We still have so much life to live, right?
Right.
Like, it's so me, I'm so stuck in the now. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Like now, like, because time is short and life is short, but also you want to be faithful that you still have more time to live. And so in that space, Bria or Quay, whichever, in terms of that word, like, where are you in terms of what that has done for you, in terms of you being a woman, in terms of womanhood? What has that taught you? What has your mom taught you here, not here, still here, because she's still always here and smiling down on you all? Like, what has that taught you about womanhood and being a woman and navigating this whole being a Black woman too? Jeez.
Right. In this moment, being a Black woman, you have to be bold and fearless and go and get it, because it's not going to be handed to you. One of the things our moms she always told us, closed mouths don't get fed.
Nope.
And you have to go get it. You got to speak up for what you want ultimately at the end of the day. And we always kind of, I think, what we were going through, we held on to an idea for so long because we were just scared to go out and do it. And now that we're out and about and doing it, we're like, damn, the support is real. The love is real. We could have been did this, but we were scared. And it's just like, go and get it. Be determined. You can do it, because guess what? I mean, the fact that we do, stay to ourselves and mind our business, I think that helped a lot as well. But that also, but I think we're good friends, because knowing that, life is short, we try to check in on our friends, and we're genuine in what we do. That kind of, allows people to see, like, those are great girls, and we should support them, because they went through a lot, and they're continuing to support others, granted their circumstances and what they actually went through. So, now that's just teaching me, go and do it, Black girl. You got this. Don't be scared. The worst they can say is no. So
you heard no from better.
I love Black girl.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, and I guess in both of our careers, you know, I'm also in real estate. You know, sometimes I find myself being scared to, you know, approach different potential clients, and then I ended up getting that client. You know, just because they don't look like you, you never know who you can reach on a different level.
Right.
You know, and so just being that authentic person, and the people just realizing like, okay, we know you're coming from a good part, a good, you know, place. You're not just a sell, and not making them feel like just a sell.
Yeah.
You know, it helps. It helps in every aspect. So
That's
you did a good job. Oh, I did. I didn't even practice. I'm just
Well, Quay, for you though, what has this taught you about sisterhood, right? Because I mean, you know, we look at you and Bria together, and we're like, oh my gosh, you're strong sisters. But what has that taught you about her? What has, you know, what she's been through taught you about, you know, real sisterhood, right? I mean, you guys are real sisters, but like the strength of her in like supporting women in spaces that you don't necessarily have to, but you feel like you want to, and that's a part of who you are. I think you do a good job of that, right? There's a lot of women who have a lot going on, but they don't necessarily always support everybody. And it's hard to support everybody, but I think when you feel people in a space where you feel supported, it's helpful. And so, you know, how do you support your own sister, and how do you support yourself during this time? Because you are the oldest, so that's always on your back, right? You've said that, like that's always gonna be it. Even though Bria might have stepped up, she might have been the oldest.
I'm not that bad. She's trying to whisper that to me. So Bria is definitely my best friend, my everything. So I would not be able, I couldn't have been able to do everything that I've done in the past 3 years without her. I'm going on 3 years. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do. I don't even know how we've done it, but we've done it together. And I know that I'm someone she looks up to. I've always have been that girl. So I make sure to make my moves according to how I want us both to go in alignment. So if I got to wake up at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, we call each other. If it's 8 o'clock, I'm up, you up. Because we got stuff we got to do. Like we just have to keep each other on our toes. And we've definitely pushed each other to be our greatest selves every day. Like we make sure we speak life into one another, or we tell each other good job, or, you know, I like when you did this. We try to be positive about something. Yeah, we try to be positive. Then we'll talk shit to each other, and then we'll be positive again. But that's just how we were raised. We just that's our love language. Right. Shit. But I always make my way of support is I never expect anything back. And when you do stuff expecting something in return, it's not genuine at all. So if I'm supporting X, Y, and Z, I'm not hoping for A, B, and C from her or him. I'm not. I did it because I wanted to do it because this is what you're doing. Or I'm here from you because you need someone, and you may not need someone, but I'm letting you know I am here. Right. And, you know, I'm always available for anybody who needs something. But I had to be, again, strong.
It's our last name.
Yeah, we use that a lot.
Strong way.
Yeah, I had to be strong because I knew Brie was looking at me, and I also let her know, like, it's okay to grieve the way that you want to grieve. I had to be the one to be like, let's quit our jobs and take a break for our mental health. Because Brie would have kept on working. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, yo, we need to take a break, and we need to do what we need to do for ourselves. And we took a whole year off, and we traveled and hung out, and, you know.
We saw.
Well, half of the time I wasn't on social media because, you know, like I wasn't on Instagram, but I was on Twitter. But, you know, like I had to go offline to get myself together, because you find yourself being online and with people who can't help you with what you're going through. Like everybody hasn't gone through what you're going through. So I just had to be offline to get myself together. And what other question did you ask me? Supporting. Yeah. And I make sure I push Brie. like tremendously,
We push
especially
each
with
other,
real estate.
but
Yeah.
She really helps me because I think I have a I guess anxiety when it comes to social media.
Oh yeah, she hates social media.
And she's like, "Did you post today?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna do better, I promise."
Every day.
She's like, "Did you post?" So I mean, recently you might see me posting more because you are not leaving it till you make a post. And I'm like, okay, but I'm still working, people. I just don't, social media is not my,
Where she's weak, I'm strong. Where I'm weak, she's strong.
So yeah,
we
it's a
balance each
balance.
other.
Talk about it.
And you got to know your weakness, and you got to know your strengths in a sisterhood. Like,
and you got to be able to listen to the criticism. I mean, you have to take on that constructive criticism. You're not gonna like it. I mean, we were raised by it's like hearing things we didn't want to hear, but it molded us into strong women.
And I know when Bria's listening to me because she gets quiet, and then I'm like, was I too mean? Was my delivery wrong? Because now I'm trying to make sure my delivery is the right way. I don't want to offend her because she's still an adult and a woman. But before she's my sister, she's still somebody with feelings. Yeah. And I know my delivery of the way that I say things can be harsh. That's me. And I apologize, but I have to say it the way that I'm feeling it. So I have to definitely check in with her and be like, did I offend you? Are we good? And she's like, we good. But I know she's dramatic. So I'm
I want to talk to her for a few hours.
We good. That's my girl.
Came through initially. She had to process it, but now
we good.
Okay, last question because it's literally 9:01. What's next for you all? What's next, and what words of encouragement or support or advice do you have for people who's lost someone, or who might be preparing to lose someone? Because that's another subject we don't talk about enough either. Because hospice, Black people think you go to hospice and that's it. And it's like, no, it doesn't necessarily always happen. But for you all, it looked a little different. So, what's next for the sisters? And then, what advice do you guys have, or just words of encouragement?
What's next?
What's next, sisters?
I think, now we are looking more into the juicing and wellness business. We started juicing with Etna whenever we knew she needs some type of nutrients and minerals.
You know that story, right? I mean, I think people are supporting you all just because it's good energy, right? I think I learned this from Quay. People support people.
People buy people.
People buy people.
People buy people. She always said that. But I think, your story is one that you started juicing with your mom because of what she had to eat. And so now it's like, we want this to be for other people and not when you are dying or something. Right. Let's just promote good health, good wellness. So sorry. I just think a huge part of you.
You said it. Yeah, and we're reaching out to the people in our community because they don't know anything about juicing, and there's so many benefits and health benefits, and we face so many health disparities in our community.
Yes.
And, people ignore it. Like our grandmother was a double amputee because she had diabetes. She was like, I got a touch of sugar. What is a touch of sugar? No, you are a full-blown diabetic.
You got sugar.
Like, what is this? The packages came through the mail, and she's like, oh, it's just a touch of sugar. Like, no. So, I think now that's what our baby is, and we are, I guess, exploring more juicing options and just giving it to the people in the community and doing what we can with that.
Yeah, that's doing well. That's and then Bria is taking off with real estate.
Yeah, telling people to save your grandma's land.
They're not making land.
Buy land. They're not making it anymore. So, and start having those uncomfortable conversations with your family. You don't want to talk, Grandma, you got a will? You better make sure Grandma has a will, because if she doesn't, shit's gonna go up. And if my grandmother didn't, it could have went left. If my mother didn't, it's just us, but we wouldn't have came to heads, bump heads. But other families aren't like that. No. So have it in writing, cover yourself, make sure you don't have to have that headache. You have to have that uncomfortable conversation. Because that's reality.
And insurance. It's not cheap to bury insurance. It's not.
Yeah, because you don't want to have that fish fry collecting money for a funeral. That's just...
Or GoFundMe. But hey, that's not my business. What's happened to Brown said, it ain't my business. But that's my business. But that ain't my business.
That ain't my business, and I'm minding my business.
My business.
Right.
But yeah.
So we don't like to talk about it, but it's a conversation that needs to be had in the household. And
yeah,
my advice, save yourself the headache.
And my advice is to grieve in the way that you want to grieve. Don't allow anyone to rush your grieving process. Like we tell people we still have all of my grandmother's clothes, all of my mother's clothes. We do. We're not ready to separate from that.
Right.
I think we actually had somebody who said it's okay to let it go. No, it's not. I'm not ready to. If I want to go in her closet and smell her clothes, then that's what I'm gonna do. Because that's what I wanted to do that day. Right. So we live in both of their homes, and you still feel the presence of them in their homes. We take it day by day. I suggest you take it day by day. I can hear a song that my mom loved and I'll cry. Like you have those moments, and have those moments. Have them. I don't care who's around, just have them. But do what you need to do for yourself and your mental health.
Absolutely.
Please. And never let anybody tell you what you should and should not do, especially those who haven't gone through what you've gone through. And then the ones who went through it, they may not have gone through it the way that you probably are going through it. So just be your own judge, like really real shit. And everyone who loses a parent, that was one of your questions, the reality of it. Like some people think that person's totally effed up. Or we see what's going on with Kanye and how he transpired. I chose the word blossoming because I am so blessed to be in the mental capacity to handle losing someone of that magnitude. Like everybody doesn't handle everything the way that you handle it. So my relationship with God has become the strongest thing ever, because I know without God, I wouldn't be who I am today. Like I wouldn't be sane. I really wouldn't be. And then I just tell you to take it day by day and go to therapy. Oh, therapy. Go to therapy. Please go to therapy. Talk to somebody.
I didn't go to therapy yet, but when she's learning therapy, she's teaching me. So
I'm a therapist.
Where your appointment is, Sis Bria? Where your appointment for therapy is?
Yeah, she's like, so what y'all talk about?
What you need to do? What's the homework?
That's my journey, sis. Yeah, I encourage anyone to, like, even if you're not going through something, hey, just go. Yeah. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody and everyone's going to give you a biased opinion, go to therapy, because they will definitely give it to you and have you second guessing a lot of shit in your life. Like, oh, so when I went to X and did, yeah. So your journey is yours.
Your journey, that's how we're gonna end it. Your journey is yours. So thank you everybody for joining. This went over a lot more, but I kind of thought it was, because we're talking to two different people. But seriously, go on Instagram, go to the Choose True Project and literally write a takeaway, a quote, something, write it on there, tag them. If you don't tag them, I'll tag them. But I think that's a way, this is our way of hashtag women supporting women, right? If you guys have seen it, hashtag on Instagram. This is our way, right? Uplifting these stories, our stories, and like being able to teach that back to the, people who may be going through that, or like these young kids who just don't have a lot of direction. And so I'm so glad you guys were a part of this.
Yeah, we were so happy to take the night off.
I'm so glad you took the night off, because that damn juicing machine loud. I'm just
Hater.
Machine, Jesus, it be juicing. That juicing be juicing, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. And if you haven't, go follow both of their pages. If you need more information about the Juice Crush, hit me up on Instagram. I'll send you the link. And yeah, thank you guys. I always, I think you guys are a pretty little strong little duo, but I think I value you both separately and together. And I wanted people to know that, like, Quay is my friend, of course, right? Like that's my sorority sister, whatever she is. But I feel like Bria is like my sister, child. Like, and that can happen, right? And you like, how that happen?
Right. So look, we let things happen naturally around here.
No, I value your story. I always have. we might be back doing this again another year or two. Who knows, child? But thank you all again. And thank y'all for joining. And we're going to wrap it up so we don't be on for too much longer. Yeah, it's 9:10. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of the week. And
have a powerful week. Bye.